Got time.
Oh, let's make it bigger.
Up there.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Grumpy Acres. It's Tuesday night. Time for another Homestead update and live stream with Grumpy G and Yoda.
But hey, first, we need to do something. Somebody has a birthday today.
Yep, I had a birthday today. I guess
birthday.
technically it's still my birthday.
Yeah. Still your birthday.
Yep. I still think fart jokes are funny, no matter what my age. Well, before we say hi to everybody in chat, let's remind everybody, if you're on YouTube, get in the live chat. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up and tell the algorithm that you like this kind of content. Helps us. It also helps other creators that do stuff like us too. So let's see who else in the chat. Skeens was first in the chat saying howdy. It was another hot one here today, Skeens. Gregory Kissel. Raining with thunderstorms here. We're supposed to get about 4 inches tomorrow.
Ooh, really? 4 inches?
It said heavier, 3 to 4 inches.
So humid.
Half a bubble off plum. Bill Zeg.
Hey.
Is in the house.
Rose.
Oh, saying hi. Rosie's here. Jane's here.
Hey.
Who else is here? I saw some other people.
You're like flying by stuff.
Man, everybody's talking.
Lynn.
Lynn's here. Terminator's in the house. Good evening. Let's see here. Barbara S. Good to see you.
Hey.
Thank you for the birthday wishes. Yeah, seriously, thank you for the birthday wishes, one and all. I did not get my.
I knew. I figured Terminator would get a happy birthday song in there.
Did you go check the mailbox?
I did not.
Did I get my flag that I asked for? That's okay. I'm not hurt much.
Hey, for your birthday, I'm getting you a flag. You get to pick it out.
No, you don't have to do that. But yeah, so the news around here, the big news around here this week is it's hot and it's muggy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like breathing soup. That's how muggy it is here.
Mm-hmm.
And it did something to me that hasn't happened in a long time. Going from the AC to the outside over the last 4 or 5 days, I've managed to get myself a summer cold. And I am just so excited about it. I am so happy about it. I used to get them all the time when I was in Arizona. But I haven't had one for, gosh, I can't remember the last time I had one.
Mm-hmm.
Grateful Hearts Ranch in the house. So, yeah, that's the main story this week. The other story is...
Hey, Randy.
The other story is that we got to see my daughter and her family this weekend.
Yeah.
So Saturday we went up to the Kansas City's farmer market and had a very fun morning.
Yeah.
With
nice.
with them and the grandkids.
Ooh, it got hot though. Hot and sticky.
It got hot and sticky.
Dang.
Well,
so got our Corollos on.
And I was, if you don't know what Corollos is the Italian market up in the northwest corner of the River City Market, Farmers Market. Anyway, they've got great Italian food, some of the best Italian food in the city, and they had a late breakfast, early lunch, second breakfast, first lunch.
Well, a little bit had just woken up, so
right.
Yeah, breakfast for her, but she couldn't get enough. She had the tiniest little thing. She was eating my food and her food,
yeah,
everybody's food.
But we had a really good time. And the one thing about the farmers market, we were talking about this, had I not grown up in Kansas City and been going to the farmers market my entire life.
Oh, scroll back up in there, right there. What is going on? Terminator. Or no, who is that?
Yeah.
Is that Mississippi Homestead?
Yeah.
No, it's Terminator. It's not so good. I have to move out of my cabin, not allowed to live in it. Someone called the building inspector. We had a meeting with him, and have to tear it down. And so does my son. I'm going to be homeless.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that.
That's communism at its best. That's the kind of crap they're trying to do here.
Yeah.
We're fighting it.
Seeing the anonymous tip, that's a violation of the Fourth Amendment here in the States.
Yes.
In fact, we're having a discussion with the county right now about that. Lawyers are involved. Tag's meeting with the Secretary General.
Good.
Or the Attorney General. Him
with Chris Colbert.
Yes, him and somebody else are meeting with him next week. So,
good.
So we'll get some information on it.
Good deal.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
That sucks.
We'll be praying for you. We'll be praying for you. Is there any way to appeal it, Terminator?
I don't know how it works up there.
But imagine homeless.
Oh, I can't even. I just can't even.
But yeah, you know what, the government enjoys overstepping its bounds.
Yeah, and my whole thing is you're out in the middle of the woods and you're on a crap ton of acreage. Why does it matter and who cares?
Well,
oh, you can't tax it. That's right. I forgot.
That's right. You know, but there for the grace of God go a whole bunch of people. You know, and this is a prime example. This is why you get involved. You know, this is why we get involved and we fight these type of things. And it's harder to do in a country like Canada because the liberal government and the fact that they don't have the enumerated rights like we have down here. The government can basically do what they want.
Yeah, it stinks.
Yeah.
It really stinks. Terminator, I'm so sorry. Girl, you're not homeless. We just got to figure out how to get you a passport.
Let's see. My son is going to confront and ask who done the call. Is our Canadian right to know who called?
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Well, and that's part of the problem here is their little warrantless search or warrantless inspection thing was written so that they could use anonymous sources, right, anonymous calls and stuff. And if you think about it, that just opens up a whole can of worms where, you know, the state could make a call and say it's anonymous and then use it to persecute somebody. And
the thing is, like we were talking, it could be any one of the commissioners. Mm-hmm. They don't like something you're doing. You cross them a little bit because you're frustrated with them not following, you know, doing, as Randy put it, their work, their civil duty for the people, we the people.
Yep.
And so, you know, they could put in that complaint. I mean, that could do all kinds of damage. So yeah, at least we got amendments. We've got rights. So I'm not sure about Canada. I might have to study up on that a little bit.
Yep.
But yeah, because they probably wouldn't even have like Cora or Quorum.
Well, and since we're talking about the citizens' interaction with the government, mm-hmm, that's the other story. One of the other stories for this week for us was they had a budget meeting. Actually, they call it a budget meeting, but it was more of a...
They changed it.
It was
totally changed it.
It was kind of weird the way it was set up. So they had a table for each one of the commissioners and every department in the county executive branch, and the judicial branch, because the judge had a table there too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no! I wish I didn't have to work. That would have been good.
But they allowed you to talk one-on-one with them, and it was very interesting. I got there expecting a regular meeting, and I see all these tables, and luckily Rowdy was there, and Rowdy he thrives on this type of stuff. Right, tag for everybody that doesn't know. He thrives on this type of stuff. So I asked him, I said, do you mind if I just sit back and follow you around and listen to what's going on? And I learned quite a bit from his conversations with these people. I mean, it was very interesting. We do have some problems, though. We do have some problems. I submitted what's called a Kansas Open Record Act request today. I submitted one because I did some more searching around and more talking with people, and I could not find where this resolution 2025-16 where they discussed it publicly,
because they didn't.
And it's literally like it appeared out of thin air. And what was
did.
really weird, talking with Kathleen, that when they passed that, they did the Pledge of Allegiance to open the thing, and they had the inspectors that were on the zoning or the appraisal thing, made them leave the room, and then they passed it.
Yes,
so
that is exactly how that happened. And then after that, because there was also something else with that, is the solar farms, and they were seen fist bumping each other in the hallway. I do believe Kathleen also has that on film, I believe.
But it was very interesting, and quite honestly, I listened to Tag. He's very cordial. He's a businessman, and he's used to dealing in that type of situation. And he told him flat out, he said, this is nothing personal. And we were talking afterwards, me and another lady and him, and it is personal for me, because I don't want to be up there. I want to be able to go. Just like Terminator, I want to be able to go to my place.
Just leave me alone.
And be left alone. Let me do my thing. I'm not going to break the law. I'm not going to infringe on anybody else. But they won't let me. And so now instead of coming home on my birthday and sitting down and watching Jaws before
and having a glass of bourbon.
Well, I wasn't going to have the bourbon until we opened it here. But anyway, I couldn't do that. I couldn't sit down and enjoy my birthday. I had to go up there, and I had to do that. And the whole reason why I got to do it is because they've proven that they can't be trusted. They can't govern properly. They waste people's money. They try to strong arm people. They ignore people whenever they say anything. And so I've got to go up there and play citizen babysitter. And it's not like I'm watching over their shoulders, but whenever you show up to these meetings, that's what we're doing. We are babysitting them and trying to keep them honest. And we should not have to do that. We, especially in America, we should not have to do that.
That was just terrible today. And then the timing that they put it at, that was weird too. So usually those kind of meetings are at 6:30, and you said this one started at 4?
3.
Oh, at 3?
It ran from 3 to 7.
Ridiculous. So people actually had to take off work in order to get there.
Well, at least they did it late enough that people could leave work and get there. Yeah. Oh yeah. Scanes is right. It's a 24-hour job. You got to keep on them all the time. Yeah. Lisa says she's a fighter and not giving up fighting tooth and nail. If I don't comply, they will take me to court and could be fined $20,000 to $50,000. Good night.
Can you at least some of the materials, hopefully you use screws and you can take them out and maybe just number everything 1, 2, 3. I don't know if that'll work.
Independent Mini, it's mine.
What's the matter?
He's asking whose birthday it was.
Oh yeah, it's Garen's birthday, and it's today. So Randy was concerned. He said, "Happy birthday, early or late."
Perfectly on
perfect timing.
Perfectly on time.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, so it's been an experience. So and I was just out looking at the raised bed garden out in front. when you were spraying the deck. Did you get some overspray on some stuff?
Yeah, I did.
I think so too.
That was I power washed the deck, and then I bleached it, and I'm for the last 2 nights I've been trying to get stain on it, but it was so hot on Sunday that I only got 4 hours worth of work in, and then yesterday I worked for about another 4 hours, and I was getting more sweat on the deck than I was stain and sealant.
Yeah, and now it's stained. It still needs more coats, but now the dog hair is sticking to the stain.
Well, it's not sticking to it, but I can get out there and scrub all that stuff off. But yeah, I'm out there. I had to go out yesterday before I started. I had to wash muddy footprints off because we got a stupid little black dog that goes out and stands in the water trying to eat
Chase
the frogs in the mud puddle by the driveway. So
you see what Lynn said. Lynn said you don't look a day over 70.
yeah, I don't feel it either. I don't feel it either. This being the same age as old people is really weird.
Hey, Lynn, you need to try to figure out, because next year he's the big 6-0.
When they asked me at work, Nick said, "Do you feel any wiser?" Not a single bit. Not a single bit.
Yeah.
And talking with Rescue this morning, he made the comment. Maybe it was yesterday. No, it's today. Anyway, he made the comment, last another 59 years. And I said, well, from your mouth to God's ears, because this body here is a monument to poor life choices or bad life choices and poor impulse control.
Yeah.
The soul is there and the desire is there, but I'm not sure how much longer the body's going to comply with it.
Yeah, I'm thinking a big birthday party for you next year. So
I don't need a big birthday party. Mike says 62 was the big one for him. Listen, here's the deal, guys. I made it past 45. So I had a half brother that passed away when he was 43.
41. He was 41.
He was 41.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he passed away at 41, and I didn't spend any time with him, but we went to the funeral, and everybody, sitting in the back, everybody kept staring at me, and it made me really uncomfortable. And I, and couldn't figure out why until I went up to view the coffin, and the dude looked exactly like me. Mm-hmm. I mean, seriously.
They all thought they were seeing a ghost. They couldn't figure it out.
So, and then my cousin who was 6 months older than I am, there were three of us who were born in 1966. And my cousin who was 6 months older than I passed away at 43. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, I made it past 45. It's all gravy from here on out. My grandfather had 6 heart attacks by the time he was 45. So
you can't pass away. You have to outlive me.
Well,
you promised me that.
You keep smoking your cigarettes and drinking beer like you do, and I'm not going to have any problem.
Okay. All right. Sounds good to me.
Let's see. Somebody said they got 5 months. Was it
before they hit 60?
Yeah.
You got to scroll up because I can't see.
So Skanes has got 5 months.
Oh yeah, because she's like, no, you're my age.
I just say I'm old enough to remember bell bottoms the first time. My mother actually made me bell bottoms, and they were homemade, and they had the panel for the bell was a great big piece of red fabric. So there I am. I'm in my.
Do you have a red cap too?
No.
Y'all know where I'm going with this. No red cap, no red stocking cap.
No, I'm in my polyester. I'm in my polyester Jaws t-shirt. I've got my homemade bell bottoms and my Buster Brown shoes on. You guys remember the Buster Browns that didn't have heels? They were like the hippie shoes. Yeah, my parents bought me those, and I had to wear them. So maybe that's why I felt a little traumatized.
I don't know, but now everybody is like, there's so many comments I can't even keep up. Was this show comment? So something.
Where?
Who did? I don't know. There was something. Show.
So Lynn's going to be 60 in
September.
In September. Randy says he has 20.
Well, good. You're retired. Then you can get out here next year for G's birthday.
So Randy's made it 22 years past when his father passed away.
Yeah.
Listen, if I live old enough as old as my dad, when my dad was 83,
something like that.
He's 83.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not gonna lie. His last
10 years was rough.
Well, the last two were
extremely rough.
And if it gets like that,
if it gets like that, you're gonna go live with your sister because I know.
No, if it gets like that, I'm gonna go out.
No, you're not. Stop it.
I'm gonna go out making a statement.
Whatever.
Skins, you don't even remember what 65 was. They think so. See, she's backtracking. Back when we were 60, we remember. Gregory. Gregory's sitting there screaming at the screen, "Get off my lawn!"
Right. Quit drinking out of my hose.
Yeah, massive heart attack.
Yeah.
For Randy's dad.
Yeah.
Oh, at 37, that's rough.
That sucks.
Man, that's rough leaving a family like that.
Yeah. Yep. No, and so I know that like my dad's totally screaming on the other side, and it's I do owe you a phone call. I totally need to talk to my dad, but when I work at it's very highly secured, so I can't just pick up my phone and call. And it's the only place I seem to be getting internet to use my phone. For some reason, every time I come home, it's on SOS. And he's like, power it off, turn it back on. So I do that. It doesn't work. So my poor dad probably thinks I don't love him anymore.
I don't know what to tell you.
I do love you. I just need to tomorrow, remember, as I'm leaving work, I need to just start calling him from work. Like as I'm leaving the parking garage and have that conversation. Problem is I lose him at our road. So, but
Skanes doesn't think she'll make it as long as her mom. Keep drinking those margaritas and smoking those vapes.
She can't stop it. He wants got something.
Okay, listen, guys. Time out. We're gonna take a little break here. Okay.
You're gonna make sure you have another heart attack.
So
gonna seal it in.
So this was my birthday present from my daughter and her husband, and this is a bottle of High West bourbon
from Utah,
from Park City, Utah.
And the bottle is hand blown.
Yeah, the bottle's hand blown. I don't know if you can see it. But
also made in Park City, Utah.
It's got raised letters that say High West Distillery, and it's got a cork lid. I haven't even opened yet.
Oh, he's been savoring.
And I thought I would. Well, I told him that I would let him know. I would let him know what it tasted, if it was any good, because apparently it's a.
You want some ice in your glass?
I've got stuff over there.
Okay. Apparently
it's very well known, and people travel from all over the country to go get it. So here's what I'm going to do for you guys. He's going to
sacrifice.
This is a review for you. See, it's got a cork top.
No Quarter says pop that top.
So
pass the glass.
So here's what you do. We're gonna the etiquette of tasting bourbon. If you're not a bourbon drinker, actually this is really any alcohol. First time you want to sip it, you want it neat. So we don't want any ice or water on it.
Did you study this or something?
No, I know this from being an alcoholic.
Oh.
So I broke out the fine
china,
the fine glassware, just for you guys. Oh, smell that.
Oof.
It's got a very high alcohol content. I don't know what it is, but see what the. But it's got a good oaky smell.
Hey, look, you can get 15 cents in California, Iowa. Oh, Iowa, you only get 5 cents.
Woo!
Vermont, you get 15 cents.
That's strong.
That is a 45%. You need to put the cork back on.
That's 45%. 45%. Okay, now I've done that. It's got a good burn. It's got a good taste.
It's got a burn. All I did was smell it.
It's got a good taste. Very alcohol-y though. Seriously. So here's what I'm going to do. I like my bourbon, and you can crucify me in the chat if you want to. I like my bourbon on the rocks with a splash of water. It's just the way I've always drank it. So let's do. I just so happen to have a bowl of ice here, so we're going to put that in there.
That's a bourbon that you want to drink if you don't plan on kissing your wife, because it is strong.
So we got 2 fingers in there. I'm going to go ahead and put some splash of water in it. Oh yeah, that's. Much better. That cuts the harshness down big time. So my ranking on this This is one. It's tasty. I'm not sure that I would purchase it over some of my other go-to ones. But if somebody gave it to me as a present, I would happily accept it and drink it. Personally, guys, if you're looking at getting into bourbon, my suggestion would be
J.W. Dan.
Well, if you want an inexpensive bourbon, J.W. Dant Bottled and Bond. And for those of you who don't know, bottled and bond is a legal term that's associated with bourbon. Actually, it's associated with any alcohol. And what it is, let me see if I can remember. Single barrel, 4 years aged, and I can't remember what the other. There's four.
100%, I think.
No, there's 4 criteria that you have to do. So if you ever see any alcohol that's bottled and bond, you know that it's going to be a little bit better quality than the stuff that they mix, and like Canadian Hunter, they mix that together. And
we have only been able to find that in Missouri so far.
But no, you found it in Kansas.
No, I cannot find it in Kansas.
I thought they bought it.
I had to take it back. Remember, that was a whiskey, not a bourbon. It was mixed, and so I took it back. Well, I wasn't supposed to, but I know the owner, so
I recommend. If you want an inexpensive, I'll put J.W. Dant Bottle and Bond. It's a $16, $17 bottle. I will put that up against a $20, $25, $30 bottle any day. In fact, it's probably on par with this.
Really? That's like a J.W. Dan?
Yeah.
Because I didn't get that smell from J.W. Dan.
Kind of. But
and I can actually cook with J.W. Dan. Like I can sprinkle that, or I wipe it on my pies. So I use vodka. 100% vodka on my pies so it doesn't burn. Ladies, gentlemen, if you're a pie maker, vodka goes a long way. JW Dant, I can use it. I don't know if the alcohol content's
the ones when money is no issue. Old Forester 100 proof, top shelf. That don't get the 80 proof, get the 100 proof.
Have you ever had that?
I used to drink it all the time. Used to get it down in Belton at the Hy-Vee.
Mm.
But that or Four Roses single barrel, which is used to be about a $32 bottle. It's probably a little bit more now.
Mm-hmm.
But that one is one that I started drinking in Japan. Because here's a little bourbon history. A lot of people don't realize this. So Four Roses, which is a very prominent brand in the United States now, was not allowed to be sold in the United States, even though it was distilled here, up until about 1992, I think, sometime around there. It relatively recently, but they could export it. So the first time I had Four Roses was actually when I was stationed in Okinawa in '88 and '89, and I got hooked on it. Came back to the United States, and I could not find it for the longest time. And finally, they made it so they could sell it. And so there's my two go-tos. No, it's this half bottle. This is 90 proof.
No, I think she was referring to the pie.
Oh,
because remember I said I think JW Dan is 100 proof. I don't think it's 45 proof. Are you sure about that? I'll have to look at it and see. Do we still have a case of that in the back? We might. I'll have to look.
Good. Black Velvet was Gregory's preference. Somebody made a comment about liking Scotch. So the guys that I used to have the Friday night conferences with, my money guy and my insurance guy, they were both Scotch drinkers. And we would meet once a month on a Friday afternoon and smoke cigars and drink at my buddy's office. And we wouldn't get drunk, we'd have a couple of drinks. But they were both Scotch drinkers, and everybody in the office that drank was a Scotch drinker. So I was the only one that
it's like, it's too mossy. I can't believe you guys are drinking that. And I'm like, it's really good.
I do not like. There's only one Scotch that I like because it's not mossy tasting. I can taste it in everything except that one. Oh yeah, all the rules about what we could buy and sell in Okinawa: golf clubs, electronics, lots of rules. Yeah. Well, and it was very interesting. Speaking of Okinawa, living overseas was, I'm from Missouri, and so growing up, Budweiser
Budweiser and Bud Light were the drinks, right?
Oh, look, so half bubble off plum. So I was right. JW Dan is 100 proof.
Is it 100 proof?
Well, that's why I was using it in my cough medicine and all of that.
But you know,
I think you're right. Half bubble off plum.
but you know, but go to Okinawa and Budweiser is an import beer, and we used to buy it at the exchange and go out and sell the case out in town and get double our money off of it, just because it was an import beer and we were able to sell it to them. And we didn't do that. We didn't do that very often, but we did it once or twice, you know. So yeah, and it was
No, my cousin Megan and Jason, they got married in Scotland. And oh my gosh, they brought me back. I cannot remember. Well, they brought it back. I just indulged. They break it out when we get together. I think we finished that.
that one's not that
It's good.
They're Scotch drinkers too.
Yeah, that was really good. Well, you know, my grandma was a Scotch drinker.
Lynn tells the guy at work about all the Godzilla traps, the driving ranges. Yep. Yep. Well, and there was actually one golf range, driving range right there in Kitamai that had a Godzilla next to the net.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
A big giant 30-foot tall Godzilla statue.
Good night.
But, so yeah. So there we go. That's my my PSA for tonight. You know, High West bourbon from Park City, Utah. I'll give it a 3.5, 4.
Oh, come on.
I'll be genuine.
Is that 1 out of 5? Or?
I'll be generous and give it a 4. I've made better myself. I have.
Your son-in-law and daughter gave me that.
No, it's good and I appreciate it.
Okay.
And he told me to be honest about it, and I'm just giving my honest opinion.
Okay.
And quite frankly, yes, I have distilled better bourbon than this.
I've tasted some of the bourbon you distilled. It's pretty good. So
Gregory says Shivas with 2 rocks. Yeah, that's Mr. Moneybags there. Gregory's a rancher. He's rolling in money. He can afford that expensive stuff. Skin says she's had many bourbons ranging from what I call rot gut to really fine. Yep. Oh, and it's easy to do.
we didn't take anything down.
Let's see. Do you take your Cash App and Venmo down your channel? How may we
Put
money?
cash
You know what?
in your ammo cache for your birthday?
Don't worry about it. Seriously. I was only semi-joking about the flag and all that. Yeah.
No, I think he was genuinely wanting to help you out with.
Well, I know. That's why I'm saying
ammo.
not to worry about it. Not to worry about it. Time to crank up the still. Absolutely. You know, Randy. Here's the
We've
deal.
been talking about.
Here's the deal. Doing it in the summertime in this house is
Sauce.
impossible.
That's
You can't,
bad.
because I'm not heating this house up any more than it already is. And in the wintertime, I might be able to do it, but it does kind of stink up the house whenever you distill it.
Yeah, I think if we get that processing kitchen done, you'll be able to do it back there. It won't matter, or vice versa. However,
Yeah.
but we'll figure it out.
Well, when it gets cool, I might be able to do it outside.
Hey, Gregory, all poo smells like money. We understand that. Really.
Yes, our
poo smells like money too.
our property was smelling big time like money today because it was so hot and muggy.
Really, every time we go by a pig farm or cattle farm or step out in our backyard with ours, and we just go, woo, smells like money. That's how we taught our kids not to be disgusted by it. You know, you just
Running
on.
still is the best of winter activity.
yeah, because you can crack a window and that kind of thing.
Well, if I had so the plan eventually is to get a tiny building and turn it into the distillery / beer making place, right? And so if I do that, I'll be able to do it in the summertime.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be away from the house. It doesn't matter if it heats up.
And that won't be too terribly expensive either. And you probably put it right off the sauna, to be honest.
I won't be able to do beer or wine in the summertime, but in the fall and spring, no problem whatsoever. In
Yeah.
fact, the cool temperatures would help both of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so eventually I want to do that.
Fire up the still. Just a good old boy.
It was so hot when I got there last night. Feel like I opened an oven when I got out of the truck. Absolutely, yes. It's been like that for
Yeah.
the last 3 days.
Yeah, it's terrible.
No Quarter says I got a still in the shed. I'll be breaking it out this winter. Yeah, I bought a small Ukrainian. It's a Russian still actually, but it's made in Ukraine. That's got a slobber box hanging off of it, and it does a decent job. I can turn out about 1.5 liters, close to 2 liters if I do it right.
Yeah, we saw some stills at, where were we? Where were those?
That was Self-Reliance Festival. The guy makes.
Was that at SRF? Oh my gosh, man, those were nice.
Well, and you can get copper still kits for $250 that'll do 5 gallon runs. You know, so it's not an expensive hobby to get into.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can dump a lot of money into it,
Yeah,
if you want to, but you don't have to. You know, I've probably done 10, 12 runs on that one still, and I've yet to make a mash. I've been doing sugar washes, using sugar washes to make my alcohol. So I highly recommend it. And see, and the guys,
night, Randy.
Night. So these things that we're talking about, you know, the distilling, the making the wine, the beer, you know, these are all survival skills, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
These are skills that you can put to use in times of crisis, right? You know, the distilling, not just for drinking, not just for drinking alcohol, but for making medicine. You know, all your good tinctures are made with 100 proof alcohol.
And so we actually had experience in that. So during COVID and that kind of crap, when that was going on, the medicine was short on the shelves,
Mm-hmm.
and they had decided that they were going to cut things and do all of that. So I'm like, well, I got cases of alcohol just in case. And so, you know, one of my go-to prep stocking up. So I went to that, started making cough medicine and other tinctures and that kind of thing. And that's about the only way we made it through.
You know, Regent Distillery, they're a whiskey distillery in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
They started making hand sanitizer during the coof panic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in fact, you can still in this area today, you can still find bottles of that stuff.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and just distilling plain water. You know, you get some water that's questionable. You run it through there, and it gets all the impurities out.
Yep.
And
well, and you need the distilled water for your colloidal silver.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, and then, you know, and then like beer making,
mm-hmm.
it's a good way to utilize the leftover stuff from making bread.
Yep.
It's you know, people drink it. You can barter it.
Mm-hmm.
Same with the wine. You know, so there's all kinds of uses for it. I use Tito's vodka to make your hand sanitizer. Yep, a lot of people do.
Licking your hands.
Sweet gum for antiviral. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. You know, you learn this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Yeah, it was super funny. I still have bottles of hand sanitizer. Do you remember who gave those to me? It might have been Wendy, because she got them up at she owns the liquor store up town north of us. And she gave me a whole bunch of bottles. Budweiser actually made hand sanitizer during the COVID crisis.
Did it turn dudes gay?
I don't know. No, I think that was right before that. But I didn't open them up. I think they're still down in the cabinet. But yeah, no, way weird.
Oh, what works?
Works on anti.
What works on an anti-rant? Oh man! So what else went on here this week that was of note?
Well,
it's been too wet to mow, and our yard looks like a jungle. And it's going to
We
rain
kind of
tomorrow.
left Skeins in a loop, and she was working on her storage building, and kind of left her in a loop because we chose the grandkids over her.
Yeah.
So she understood, so it was fine. And then Sunday was catch up because we missed Saturday. And then during the week, man, I tell you guys, my brain is so fried by the end of the day. And I tell him about everything that's going on. It's hard. I know I have to get out and harvest. I got tomatoes on that are ready to go. I need to get those picked. And then I need to get out the squash is good. It's ready to go. I think we're going to have some watermelon and some other stuff coming up too, because it's starting to flower and get that going. So got some of that. But yeah, all that stuff's looking really good. Really, really good.
Weeds are the answer to your garden problems. Weeds are nothing more than plants that are someplace we don't want them.
Right.
Period. Okay, time for a service announcement. Does
this
Boom.
mean you're going over into politics?
Well, kinda.
Okay.
So here we go. This is the answer you give if somebody asks you if you're far right.
Okay.
The passenger is saying, "Are you far right?" And the guy driving says, "Nope, just not a retard."
Okay.
So there you go. You now know how to reply to somebody if they ask you if you're far right. The whole summer has been a blitz. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Hey, Lynn. So go ahead and pick them green. If you know you're going to get a bunch of rain, pick them green. Let them ripen in the house. Nothing wrong with that.
Yep. Stick them in a
paper bag.
paper bag. Yeah, Skeins was having to deal with bumblebees. They were stinging everybody over there. I'm glad
Oh yeah, that's weird.
Glad I wasn't over there Saturday because I got stung enough the week before. I didn't want it. She got stung on the lip, and she looked like Gen Zer who only got half of her lip fillers done.
She had done this, and then she was trying to talk to me, and this is about how she sounded, and like, why you got that Elmer Fudd thing going on, and she like, quit making fun of me. I'm trying to talk to you.
She looked like she was pouting. It looked like it was painful as hell, though.
It had to have been painful because it was tight too. I mean, she looked like she went in and got injected. Oh, it was just craziness. But bless her heart.
No Quarter says, even though I had angioplasty on my left leg, I'm still concerned about losing either half or the whole foot. Ouch.
Oof.
Have to wait to speak with the surgeon in 2 weeks. Well,
we'll be praying for you.
We'll put you on the list.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So I don't think we got anything more as far as updates go.
I don't think so.
You guys, I got a couple of things I do want to talk about though.
Are you going politics?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna check out.
Okay.
You good with is it like bad politics or
No.
is it something I can stay for?
Yeah, just don't interrupt me.
You want me to go?
Okay. So American Stewards had this story this week, and I find this very interesting. So the title of this is Conservation Virtue Signaling of Netflix and Meta Exposed. So the gist of the story is that there's a group in Africa that was selling carbon sequestering rights in, was it Kenya? Wherever the Maasai tribesmen are.
Okay. I know you said don't interrupt you, but what is that? Carbon rates? What is
the
that?
Carbon sequestering rights?
Yeah.
So carbon sequestering is when a company wants to show how woke they are and how observant they are of climate change. They can pay a country to not develop a plot of land so that the grass and the plants there grab the carbon, because the plants use the carbon dioxide to grow, and they emit oxygen. So what that does is it allows a company to pollute in one area, but feel good about themselves and put a good face forward because they're saving this. They're sequestering. They're making it so the carbon that they're throwing up in the air is sequestered in the ground.
Like what Shell does here.
It's a scam.
Okay.
It's a massive
Mhm.
scam. So anyway, this organization in East Africa was selling these rights off in East Africa, which would be Nairobi, Kenya area, somewhere around there. And anyway, these lands that they were offering up as carbon credits, or for carbon credits, were the Maasai's traditional grazing lands, because they're herdsmen, and they were not letting these people graze on their ancestral lands. So they took them to international court, and they actually won. And as a result of this, Netflix and Meta, formerly known as Facebook, were exposed for being the frauds that they are, because they say to care about the planet, and they say they care about all these indigenous people, but in order to virtue signal, they were hurting these people.
Get it?
So it was a big, huge win for the Maasai tribesmen. I thought it was a really cool story to share with you guys. And if you get it, if you want to read the article, go see American Stewards about it. Anti's talking about General Flynn announces the next Trump declassification will prove that the 2000 election was stolen. Here's the deal with this, guys. Here's the deal with this. Don't let all this stuff just distract you. Yes, it would be nice if these people were held accountable. Simple fact is, nobody in a position of power that should be held accountable is going to be held accountable. Period. They may throw some low-level person under the bus, but the people that actually did it and did the treasonous acts, and they were treasonous as far as I'm concerned, they will not be held accountable. So don't let it distract you. Every time something like this happens, we get pulled off of more important things. I was telling Rescue yesterday morning, I jump on his live for about an hour and a half. One thing is true. Gen Xers, people born in the 60s and on, one thing is completely true about our lives. Our entire lives, no matter who's been elected president, two things have happened. Number one, the bombs keep falling, and number two, the debt still keeps going up. Doesn't matter who was president. Yeah. So anything they do like this, like we're going to declassify this, or
I don't even believe it anymore.
The dog and pony shows that they do,
Yeah.
Is just a distraction to keep you from looking at what's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
We've got politicians that put the well-being of other countries, people in Congress that put the well-being of other countries ahead of the United States.
Yep.
And openly admit it. The state of Israel, Somalia,
Mm-hmm.
China, between what they say and what they do, they don't care about the United States citizens. Every open border person, no matter what side of the political fence they're on, every open border person is putting some other country ahead of the United States. And if these immigrants are so good at being of value to our country, why can't they go home to their country and be of value there? And we're not deporting doctors and lawyers and the best of the best when we're getting rid of all these illegal aliens. Period. McQuarter says, name the only recent president who brought the national debt to zero.
The only president.
The only president. Shit, off the top of my head, I can't even remember. At least you know that answer.
None.
No, technically one of them got the increase in debt to zero.
No. Washington wouldn't have started with that.
No, they started with that. Andrew Jackson, they say.
Oh.
Andrew Jackson. And you know how he did it, don't you? You know what he did? The court said that what he was doing was illegal, and he told the Supreme Court head justice to come enforce his rulings. And quite frankly, I would not be upset if that happened today. Son of hacks. Sorry, you're not late. You're here when you were supposed to be here. You were meant to be here at this time, son of hacks. You know, so there's all that. Here's something else. I want to share this. This originates from church on Sunday, but it's pertinent. It's pertinent. There's some questions I want to ask you, and you can think about it. You can answer in the live chat. You can wait and put it in the chat after it's done. But I want you to think about these questions. So the questions a good teacher would ask. First one, what are you searching for? Give that a long, hard thought. Think about everything that you're doing. What are you searching for, and what are you doing to do that search? Are you wasting time on things that aren't relevant to what you're searching for? This is a good question. This is a great question to ask yourself. Okay. The second question a good teacher would ask: how satisfied are you in your search? Seriously, ask yourself what you're looking for in life. How satisfied are you in your search? Here's something that I thought was interesting. So men tend to look for significance. Men want to be remembered. Men want to leave a legacy to their children. That's what's important to them. Men want to be remembered past the 3 generations where they're forgotten. Women, on the other hand, tend to look for security. And the difference in the sexes are significant there. But if you think about it, if you find the right mate, that those two things complement each other very well. The third question: do you value the time given to you? How much time do you waste? Are you taking advantage of the time that you've been given? And yes, you are given this time. This is not something that you are owed. It's not something that just randomly happens to you. This is time that's given to you. Are you using your time with intentionality and purpose? Or are you squandering it on things that do not matter? And I think if everybody is honest here, that most of us have spent an inordinate amount of time wasted on stuff that is unimportant. What are you looking? Why'd you hold my phone up?
A lot of time is wasted on the phone.
Oh. Lynn says, who are you? What do you want? If you can give specific answer to both, you will be happy and successful. 98% of us can't be specific. Yeah. Well, that's because we're not taught to be. This is all learned behavior. Okay. Fourth question. Now, this is we're going to start getting into the religious aspect of this. And if you're not a Christian and you believe in some other religion, I think it still applies. But this is specific. These get into a specific Christian bent here. Okay. So don't tune out on me. All right. The fourth question is, are you prepared to meet death? If your life ended tomorrow, would you be prepared for it? Because the simple fact is,
would we be prepared for it? Or
no,
the
would
kids?
you?
So
you personally,
me or the kids?
Would you personally be prepared for death tomorrow? Here's the deal. Death is the great equalizer. Doesn't matter if you're a pauper or a prince. death makes us all equal, and we all have to stand before that judgment in the afterlife, and the question is, are you prepared to stand in front of that judge? And it's a hard question. It really is. It's a scary question. Even as a believer, I find it's a very daunting question. I would like to think that I'm ready. I am resigned to the fact that when it happens, it's going to happen, and there's nothing I can do about it. No amount of pleading, no amount of bargaining, no amount of promising is going to change that fact. When it's time, it's time. All right. And here's the last one. And this is specifically Christian, but I think you can apply it to a lot of other things too. Have you gleaned that wisdom is the simplification of obedience to God? And basically what that's saying is if you submit yourself to a higher power that's morally and ethically pure, correct, call it whatever you want. If you submit yourself to that, then your life becomes exponentially easier. And from a Christian standpoint, if I submit to the laws of God, and I try to emulate Jesus like I'm supposed to, according to the Bible, my life becomes much better. And I'm here as a testament on my 59th birthday. I'm here to testify that being out of compliance in that regard makes your life extraordinarily hard. Here we go. HG says, I read a book years ago. Oh, come on. Hang on. I read a book years ago on the social history of death, the pre-recorded history to the current, and what was considered dying versus death, and how society dealt with and thought about it. Oh, that would be interesting. Mm-hmm. That'd be a very interesting read. Let's see here. Anti says, I'm prepared to meet death, but would have a preference to meet them when Chuck was still alive and playing guitars for them. Oh, I thought that was a really good message, and that came out of the book of Ecclesiastes, and the significance of that. The reason why that was important this weekend is because the city where the church that I go to is, they lost another 16-year-old to suicide last week, and they've lost 2 16-year-olds in the last 3 months to suicide. Talking with my daughter, the reason my daughter was in town was because it was her 10th high school reunion, and
a lot of them couldn't show up.
She said that at least 10 of the kids in her graduating class had died,
suicide,
and most of them by suicide. And she only had 112.
No, she was higher than Ian.
So we've been
109, I think.
Anyway,
in her graduating class.
So they're looking at a little less than 10% of the kids that they graduated with that are no longer with them. Mm-hmm. I had 44 kids in my graduating class. By the time of my 10th anniversary, 3 of them had died. But to be fair, they all went into professions where dying was a regular thing. Mm-hmm. No quarters. Let's see what Lynn says first. We need to do this on a great big screen so I don't have to scroll as much. A quote I saw recently, that research.
Do you want my glasses?
Yeah.
It's a quote I saw recently.
A quote I saw recently that resonates considering the transition I'm about to experience. The cost of your new life is your old life. Oh, absolutely. That is 100% correct. We have to, our old self has to die before our new self can take over. We are dying. Yeah, we are dying every day we live. No quarter, but we all die with a terminal disease. It's called life. The social history of dying. ISBN. Okay, I'm gonna have to remember that one. I'm gonna see if I can get that.
You want me to write it down?
Yeah, I'll take the picture.
Well, you're gonna lose it. Social history of dying.
Okay. HG, a great TED Talk on death. I was a hospital nurse.
Hospice.
Well, and that was so the pastor at my church was an Army chaplain, so he dealt with that through the GWAT. And since he's been out, he's been a first responder chaplain, and he works hand in hand with the company that provides the EMT in town, and he goes out and goes to these calls where, you know, having a pastor there and being able to talk to somebody is beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he's got a lot of practical experience in dealing with it. You know, life is the leading cause of death. Absolutely. You know, and you know, the sad thing is, guys, you know, I wish at the age of 20 that I had the appreciation for this type of stuff as I do now. You know, but again, you know, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. You know, we don't see the end, so we squander the time. You know, think about your preparedness journey, guys. Seriously, think about everything you do to be prepared. Imagine if you would have started doing that when you're in your 20s. Just imagine where you would be today. You know, and it's not about regret or anything like that. It's about understanding that the time that we are allocated is precious, and we should not be squandering it.
I'm sorry, HG, for your friend that stinks.
Mom is in hospice.
You know how you get that 3-day warning? They get lucid all of a sudden, and then 3 days later, they're dead.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Sons of Hack says, I'm ready for death, for I know no pain in the realm of gilded ropes. Is my Messiah.
And be reborn in gilded ropes. Here's some glasses.
I think my reading glasses are on your bedside. I think you took my glasses, my black framed glasses.
I think you borrowed those from me.
No, those are mine. I bought those at Dollar General. Those are a $12 pair of readers.
Oh, no.
But yeah,
you can have them back.
You know, and again, I didn't bring this up to bum anybody out. You know, the reason I brought it up is to make us understand that you know, the time we're allotted is not guaranteed. You know, Trump may be buying us time, but there's no guarantee that A, it'll continue after he's gone, or B, that it'll continue past tomorrow. Something could happen tomorrow that changes everything.
Yeah.
So we need to take advantage of the time that we have and the knowledge that we have, the knowledge and what we need to do and what is going on, and use those to our benefit and hammer this stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if you're like me, I can't go out and work like I used to. This heat was killing me yesterday and the day before. Seriously, I worked as long as I could, then I had to come in and cool off.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You know?
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, and
at least you're working.
Nothing wrong with that, except for the fact that I didn't used to be like that, and it's frustrating.
Honey, we're older.
You know?
That is what it
I'm
is.
definitely older today, aren't I?
Yeah. You're a lot older than me.
It's official today.
Yeah, you're a lot older than me.
No Quarter says he never understood suicide. That is until I've gone through the pain. I have since June 9th. I understand the pain of what goes forward with the experience. Well, and that was part of the conversation. That was part of the conversation on Sunday. You know,
Get off.
I was in the same boat. I always thought that suicide was a cowardly way out.
I think it's the selfish way out.
And it's extremely selfish. And there's no getting around the fact that it's selfish, no matter what the reason. You know, but as I've gotten older and I've seen people in pain, and I've seen, you know, I saw both my parents go down with dementia, Alzheimer's and dementia. That's a crappy way to go, guys. Not knowing who you are. You're having yourself disappear and knowing that it's happening.
Yeah, that's,
you know, that's scary. That's an extremely scary thought.
There were times that we were huddled over trying to just figure out what to do because it was so awful, so bad. Dementia's terrible.
I actually have a couple of videos reviewing Eastern religions and lessons. If they're right, well, we're on a giant treadmill. As long as you learn something this time around, you're on track. Well, and then even that aside, you know, the Eastern religion aside, we should always be learning something. Always be learning.
I think that's just in life.
You know. So I think we're getting pretty close. Oh, the Ann Coulter. Let's talk about the Ann Coulter rule. If anybody knows what the Ann Coulter rule is, put it in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat that you know what the Ann Coulter rule is. And while you guys are doing that, while you're contemplating that, I'm going to have another slug of this stuff.
Everybody's looking it up.
So, okay. So the Ann Coulter rule is that if something happens and the news reports on it, but they do not give you any useful information about the person's race, gender, or ideology, guaranteed 100% that the gender, race, or ideology is a protected class by the media. All right. Case in point, the guy that went on a stabbing spree.
This one, I gotta walk away.
Okay.
Okay. Love you guys. Peace out. Be 10% better tomorrow than you were today.
The guy that went on the stabbing spree up in Traverse City. The news reported it as man went into Walmart, stabbed some people, was arrested by the police with help from a citizen. All right. If you watch the video, what actually happened was the man went on a shooting spree, and a man with a gun, a bystander with a gun, stopped it, and the police showed up and arrested the guy. So that's what happened. So it did not fit the narrative, and it also turns out there's some speculation going on today that the man, the stabber, may be Muslim. Yeah, the CNN called him possibly white. You know, but you think about recent events. Think about everything that happened. You know, every time something's happened, you know, we still don't know. We know more about the two people that were on the Coldplay Kiss cam within 24 hours than we know about the shooter in Pennsylvania, which happened over a year ago. You know, does that tell you something? Does that tell you something about the situation there with Pennsylvania? Okay. Anti's backtracking on me, but I'll put it up. Not true. If one has the mental strength to tell others they want to go out strong, not drilling on themselves, etc., as I have agreement for me and my mom does, all good. Hey, look, that's not what I'm talking about. That is not what I'm talking about. You know, there's a huge difference between that and somebody who's doing it because they're sad. You know, there's a huge difference. And again, it's my opinion. I used to think it was cowardly and selfish. And I still think it's selfish because it affects, by and large, when it happens, it affects people other than the person that does it. All right. So again, that's my opinion. You can disagree with me, and I'm perfectly fine with that. You know, as I said, I understand it now. I understand that aspect of it better. You know? But getting back to the subject, you know, so we need to pay attention. We need to pay attention to what's going on and who's doing what. Do not rely on mainstream media for getting your news. You need to make sure you're looking at alternative sources, multiple sources, to get the information, because they're going to lie to us. They are going to lie to us in order to push their thing. And here's the thing, this thing that happened in was it Nashville or Memphis at the jazz festival? The 3 people were knocked out by a vicious mob at a jazz festival, and it was some white people that were knocked out. And the question I saw asked was that somebody posted was, do I really need to ask who did it? Do I really need to ask who did it? And the question is, no, you didn't have to ask. No, you did not have to ask. And have you guys been following what's going down in northern Arkansas with this? Oh gosh, HG, you probably know what I'm talking about. The Back to the Land group that's got the private community. So there's a group down there that decided that they wanted to create a community that promoted and was full of people that lived by the aspects of white American culture, and they don't want any other races in there, and well, I don't think it's a good plan of action to be like that. I understand why they want to do it, and quite honestly, if they want to do that, I don't care. Let them live with whoever they want to live with. The problem, I said this to some other people, the problem out of the self-segregation like that, or the black dorms, or the all black graduations, the problem in that arises when the people that want to be segregated start screaming racism about other people, right? That's when the problem arises. If you want to segregate, do it. I don't care. I think you're being very short-sighted, and you're by default cutting a lot of experience and positive stuff out of your equation. I care more about the person's individual thing than I do the color of their skin. Now, I'm not going to lie. I did it. I said it in that short on Friday. The problems that certain groups cause are associated not with their skin color, but their culture and their ideology. And if somebody's of a certain, a certain skin color or a certain ideology, they've already got a negative mark against them. And it has nothing to do with them personally. It's got everything to do with the fact that experience teaches me that future expectations are based on what I know from the past. All right. And as bad as that sounds, that person's going to have to do an uphill climb to get into my good graces. HG says that Walmart stabbing, I may be odd, but I'm thinking, y'all are in a store chock full of potential self-defense items, baseball bats, hatchets, canned goods, and fire extinguishers. Yeah, you know what though, HG? Most people, it's funny that you put it like that, because tomorrow's video is on the full spectrum preparedness aspect of security, and most people don't think about things like that. They don't want to think about a world where they have to go to Walmart and pick up something to defend themselves. The idea of 911 calls going unanswered is alien to them, and they don't have the mindset that they are their own first responders. And I'll be completely honest with you. This is 100%. That dude with that knife was in 21 feet of the Second Amendment guy. I would have dropped him. I would have given him one chance to put the knife down. And if he did anything that even remotely looked like he was advancing towards me, I would have plugged him. So the guy's extremely lucky that the 2A guy was the way he was, because he put his life in danger trying to keep that other guy from losing his. And the amount of wax on their fruit, on all their fruit. Oh, I must have missed the first part of that. I must have missed the pertinent part of that because that's just like such a random statement. Let me go back up. Nope, nothing there that lets me even clues me in. The Michigan Walmart story will die. A black guy with a gun and a retired Marine handle the situation, not what fits them. Yeah, absolutely. It completely contradictory to the narrative. You know, because to the mainstream media and the anti-gun people, the 2A people exercising their rights and stopping things like that are a myth. They're damn near mythical. They just don't happen. They're fairy tales. When something like that happens, your brain goes into fight or flight. 95% of the people will lose all sense and be in flight mode. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. If you don't practice functioning under stress, you won't have a chance functioning under. Oh, absolutely. You know, one of the key points I'm going to make tomorrow night is that we don't rise to the occasion. And I know this from my time in the military. You don't rise to the occasion, you fall to your highest level of training. So if you do absolutely zero training in stressful situations, you will not be able to function. Your brain will vapor lock and you will not be able to function. You know, I am a huge advocate of realistic training scenarios. You know, it's fun to go out and plink on the range and poke holes in paper, but if you're not, especially with firearms training, if you're not doing things under realistic conditions, it does you absolutely no good. Let's see. And the old Marine are like, finally, I get to release some regret. Well, if you listen to the video, there's two voices there. You hear one guy telling him to put the knife down, and the other guy, and that voice is very soft. It's not very loud. And there's another voice that is extremely loud and overpowering, and telling the guy to get on the ground and to drop the knife. That's the Marine veteran there. That's the guy. The guy in the purple shirt is the Marine veteran, and he is the one that is very loud. And you can't see it on the video, but I guarantee you at some point he knife-handed the guy. He did this number two, and he's like, you're going to do what I tell you. It is sad that our society has devolved to this level. Well, you know, yes, you know, but I think in a different way than I think what you're saying. You know, it's sad that people can't not worry about that stuff now. It's sad that we have to worry about getting stuck in a violent riot if we go to some liberal city. It's sad that we have to worry about being attacked at a music festival because of the color of our skin. It's sad that we have to do a whole bunch of things. You know, it's not the country we grew up in if you're a Gen Xer. HG says he had a trainer that wasn't a fan of IDPA, said you're training to fire. If you walk into a room and the feeling is off, your correct response should be to back out and not go into the building. Oh, absolutely. Or not, and not go in blazing. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, that was one of the things I learned when I was on security forces. You know, the special weapons and tactics and the special forces stuff, the CQB stuff, that looks really cool. It's also extremely deadly in real life. We did a training exercise, and I was the stick leader, and my job was to stand in the hatch and push people through the hatch and get them into the room and get them engaged with the targets. We were simulating terrorists taking over the ammunition hold on a ship that had nuclear and special weapons on it. So we had no choice. This was a case of we could not wait them out. It had to be taken care of immediately. And so my job was to stand in the hatch and push people through and get them get them through the hatch so that they can engage. And we were using paintball guns. And there were 5 of us in the stick. I stepped through first, and I started pushing people through after I cleared my sector. And when it was done, 3 of my guys had gotten hit. And I turned around and looked at the wall, and as God is my witness, I was not hit, but it looked like a cartoon, and you could literally see my silhouette where the paintballs had bounced off, had hit the bulkhead behind me. You know, so in real life, we would have lost a minimum of half our people. You know, we eliminated all the terrorists, but you know, it was very sobering. Anytime I go or anywhere, something feels off to me, I just leave. I'm not second guessing that my feeling. Yeah, you know, that was one of the interesting things about going down to the farmer's market. So I may have told this story before, so if I did, I apologize. But if you go to Lawrence, Kansas, there's a street there called Massachusetts Avenue, and that's like the main drag. And on Saturday and Sunday morning, all the liberals there. So Lawrence is like a foreign country or a different planet because it's so liberal. But they all go up to Mass Street and they go eat brunch and all this stuff. So it's always packed. And if you go up there and you watch, you can tell who the predators are. And you can see the people looking at other people like targets. And you know, I never go up there unarmed. The only reason I go up there is because that's the only brewing store within 200 miles of me. It's the only place I can get brewing supplies. But you know, and the predators know. I don't want to say that I'm a predator, but they know other. They know people. I don't want to call myself a sheepdog either, because I'm not a sheepdog. I'm not out there protecting the herd. I'm protecting me and my own. But they know people. They recognize people that could do them violence if they needed to. Let's put it that way. Okay, so you can see that. So we went up to the farmers market on Saturday. We were up there really early, and there were 400 or 500 people there. Maybe there were only 2 people that I saw like before 11 o'clock that I thought to myself, okay, I need to keep an eye on them. I need to make sure that they're not near me and my family. By about 11, that number rose dramatically. I guess all the ne'er-do-wells woke up and decided it was time to go out hunting. Yeah, they recognize the strong versus the weak and the meek. Absolutely. You know, well, and that, you know, one of the traits of a good man is the ability to do violence. You know, and doing violence is easy. It does not take a lot of brain power to be violent. What takes a lot of brain power and what takes a lot of control is understanding when to commit violence and when not to commit violence. All right. And to have the self-control to not do it. Understanding when it's appropriate and understanding or having the ability to not do it when you want to reach out and throttle somebody. You know? So if you're a good man, if you want to be a good man, you have to understand that there's a little bit of monster in you, and you have to be able to control it, and you have to be able to release it when necessary. I desperately need to get some current training. Been way too long. I gotten older and slower. Oh, absolutely, HG. I agree 100%, man. I love CQB training. The tactical AR training and pistol training to me is a blast. I have so much fun doing it. But I need to get out, and I need to practice my skills and stuff. If you can't be a monster, turn in your man card. Absolutely. Well, and you know, weak men are the most violent people in society. And when I say weak, I don't mean physically weak. I mean mentally and morally weak. And the reason why they're the most dangerous people in society is because they don't have that delimiter on them that keeps them from being violent. Right? They don't have that restrictor. And and we've got going on 2 generations of young men who a large majority of them were raised in households without men. They had no responsible role models around them, and they do not know how to behave like a man should behave. They've got this warped sense of what a man is. From a harmless man. A harmless man is not a good man. A good man is very, very dangerous man who has it under voluntary control. Absolutely. No Quarter says he doesn't turn into a monster. He turns into a demon. I have to keep myself on the leash at all times. You know, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You know, and we can only hope and pray that none of us have to someday go down that road. You know, and just to protect myself from the YouTube algorithm, I am not advocating violence. What I am saying is violence may not be the answer to your problem, but it is a answer. And eventually you're going to run across a circumstance where it is the answer to a problem. And you better be ready, because if not, you're going to lose. Period. Okay, guys, listen, we're getting it's getting a little late. Did you put the chickens and stuff away? Okay. It's getting late. Need to pack it in and get cleaned up and get ready for tomorrow. Really appreciate you guys being here. Tuesday nights we always enjoy interacting with you guys. It's always informative for us. Seriously, you guys, if you're new here and you've made it this far into the video, the depth of experience and knowledge in our community group is overwhelming. It is seriously impressive, and kind of like you to hit the subscribe button, come join us, and you know, if you like it, hit the thumbs up. If you're watching this on replay, put something down in the comments below. Share your thoughts with us. We want to know what you're thinking. You know, whether it's Grumpy, you're an idiot, or Grumpy, you're the greatest guy in the world. You know, put it down there. Do what? Okay, here we go. White kid growing up in Detroit in the 70s. Think roots. I grew up fighting. By the way, I had a lot of black friends. Kick their ass, or at least stand up to them, and you get respect. Oh yeah, well, and it's anybody. That's anybody. You know, you don't get it. You don't get respect by bowing a knee. Just like you can't comply your way out of tyranny, and that's what this is all about. All right, that's what the whole conversation is. The whole Grumpy Acres Farm experience is about that fact, that you can't comply your way out of tyranny, and you can't vote your way out of slavery. Period. You have to do it intentionally, on purpose, by design. All right, and that's what we try to do. We try to get you in the right mindset and give you tools so you can get there. Oh, that's Freya. She's locked in the cage because she got muddy feet. Oh, I did.
Oh, you did?
She's probably been in there for a couple hours. Okay, guys, listen. So you got, hopefully show up tomorrow night. It's about the FSP aspect of security in an urban survival environment. Actually, this is actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna pat myself on the back because I think this is a pretty good presentation. Now, whether I can deliver it in a way that merits it, that's yet to be seen. But I hope you're there. And if you're new to the channel, go to the playlist, go to the City Survival 101 playlist, and go back and watch the other videos so you're caught up. Okay, guys, listen. Until next time, if you want to help yourself, get down into the affiliate links, go to the Amazon store, or go get something that's going to make you more self-sustainable. And we will see you later, and go live a life done free tomorrow, guys. Take care.